Gateway Arch National Park is unlike any other flagship national park in the United States. It is located in the middle of the city of St. Louis. It's got nothing natural about it, and it's very, very small at only 91 acres. So, why is this a flagship national park? For background, the National Park Service manages 423 sites, and this is as of March of 2021. 63 of them are designated as official national parks. There are other designations such as National Historical Sites, National Memorials, National Monuments, etc. National parks are the flagship of these sites. On February 22nd, 2018, Jefferson National Expansion Memorial became the Gateway Arch National Park. The change was sponsored by Senator Roy Blunt and received very little discussion in the hearing. There were two parts to the name change. The first part is to change Jefferson National Expansion to Gateway Arch. Now, Jefferson National Expansion Memorial was established in 1935, well before the arch. After the arch was built in 1965, the center of attention switched to the iconic arch. There is widespread agreement on this part of the name change. According to the National Park Service, for a national park, generally, a national park contains a variety of resources and encompasses large land or water areas to help provide adequate protection of the resources. On the other hand, the title National Memorial is most often used for areas that are primarily commemorative, and a national monument is intended to preserve at least one nationally significant resource. It is usually smaller than a national park and lacks its diversity of attractions. These are the National Park Service's own definition of a national park, a national memorial, and a national monument. Now, let's take a look at Gateway Arch National Park. Are there a variety of resources at Gateway Arch? No. Does it encompass large land or water areas? No. Does it protect resources? No. So, why is it a national park? Now, let's look at why isn't it a national monument or a national memorial? Is this park commemorative? Yeah, it's commemorating the westward expansion. So why is it a national memorial? It was a Jefferson westward expansion memorial, so let's keep it a national memorial. Or maybe it should be a national monument. Well, does this park preserve at least one nationally significant resource? Yeah, the arch. Is it smaller than a national park? Yes, absolutely. It's only 91 acres. And does it lack diversity of attractions? Yeah, it's basically got the arch, and that's, pretty much it, and maybe the courthouse. So, given these definitions, why isn't it a national monument? The title National Memorial or National Monument was perfectly fine for this wonderful testament to the spirit of America, the crucial role of the Louisiana Purchase, and the westward expansion that it played in building the United States. Wait, you say, what about other national parks with a historical significance? There are 3 official national parks that have historical significance as part of their emphasis, but all of them also have resources to protect, with much larger areas that require preservation. Mesa Verde celebrates the strange cliffside dwellings of the ancient Pueblo Indians in a beautiful natural setting of 52,000 acres. Dry Tortugas is a historical fort in an area of 64,000 acres that protects marine life. The smallest national park before Gateway Arch was the Hot Springs National Park, also in a somewhat urban setting, but has 5,500 acres, with 2 mountains that preserve the natural hot springs that spew out water from thousands of years ago. While all 3 has historical significance as part of its attraction, even the smallest previous park, Hot Springs National Park, is 60 times bigger. Gateway Arch National Park does not have a natural component. It's more like the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial or the Statue of Liberty. It's 100% man-made and does not fit National Parks' own definition of the flagship national park status. In fact, the National Park Service submitted a statement to the hearing on the legislation for the name change. And that said, and I quote, "Although we would welcome using the term Gateway Arch in the name of the Jefferson National Expansion Memorial, the National Park Service strives to provide consistency in the naming of park units. To better align with the standard nomenclature of units of the National Park System, we recommend that Congress redesignate the unit as Gateway Arch National Monument. National parks contain a variety of resources and encompass large land or water areas to help provide adequate protection of the resources. The existing 59 designated national parks protect at a minimum thousands of acres each, and some span millions of acres. At only 91 federal acres, we believe that the Jefferson National Expansion Memorial is too small and limited in the range of resources the site protects and interprets to be called a national park. Since it is a site similar to the Statue of Liberty National Monument, in its iconic status and small land area, we believe a more fitting name for the Jefferson National Expansion Memorial would be Gateway Arch National Monument." End quote. The documents in support of the name change went out of their way to downplay this part of the name change. Senator Blunt said, and I quote, "Colleagues, I have introduced this bill to rename and grant the Gateway Arch and the surrounding areas its proper recognition as part of the National Park System." End quote. Notice he said as part of the National Park System, which it already was. He did not say as a national park. The legislation passed via voice vote in both the Senate and the House, so there were no recorded vote that was taken by individual congressmen. So, what's the big deal in a name? As the Park Service stated, to provide consistency in the naming of park units. This is about protecting the perception and branding of what is a national park in the United States. Gateway Arch sets a dangerous precedent for diluting the national park brand. This is a slippery slope. Gateway Arch does not fit the image or the official definition of a national park for most people. So what's next? Does the Statue of Liberty become a full-fledged national park? While not mentioned explicitly, the force driving the name change is economic. The national park brand attracts more visitors, as often mentioned in other efforts to convert parks to the flagship national park status. In this case, the National Park Service's effort to preserve brand integrity was overridden by Congress. Common sense lost to the economic and political forces. So, did it work? Well, the short answer is yes. The 2016 visitation was 1.3 million people. That's its lowest been since at least 1990, and it's only about half of the peak, which is in the late 90s at about 3+ million. The visitation in 2017 at 1.4 million, and that is the year right before the park became a flagship national park. In 2018, the year that it became the national park in February, that visitation was 2 million people. So clearly it was a big jump from 1.4 million to 2 million when the place became an official national park. In 2019, the increase continued at 2.1 million. So clearly the name change has had an effect on visitation. Of course, in 2020, everything went south with a visitation of only 500,000 people, and the old courthouse is closed during the pandemic, and obviously because this is an indoor space, the 2020 visitation dropped by a dramatic 75%. Now this is against the backdrop of the overall National Park System visitation in 2020 that dropped by about a third. So clearly people are avoiding indoor space in the pandemic. Despite the naming issue, Gateway Arch is a wonderful place to spend a few hours to learn about the westward expansion, the arch itself, and the important role the courthouse played in slavery and women's suffrage. Gateway Arch National Park is a wonderful place to spend a few hours. It's just not my idea of a flagship national park, and don't know if you agree. Leave a comment below and let me know. We are on our way to visit all the national parks in the United States. Follow along by hitting the subscribe button below. Hit the notification bell so you know when a new video is released. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and please share it with everybody that you know.